Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Archangels and Ascended Masters, for this opportunity to be settled, to be steady, and to allow great grace to come forward. We're so grateful in this moment for goodness that exists. We choose to receive this goodness, and we allow any adjustment, any alteration, any expansion in our being, in our thinking, in our allowing, in our presence on this planet, in this incarnation. We let that be. We allow ourselves to be flexible and free. And we welcome the assistance of the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We're so grateful for this moment and for all the good that is here. And we say yes to all the good that exists in the universe right now. Wonderful. If you could notice, notice you inside Archangel Michael, like Jonah and the whale. If we could just breathe it and just notice that you inside Archangel Michael, perhaps being in his heart. It's an angel's heart, not a human heart. So we could notice perhaps this really cozy, wonderful space that you could relax into. If we could just breathe into that. And just notice what it's like to be inside Archangel Michael's heart and to feel the wonderful, warm love that is present for you in his heart. And the positive action he takes immediately in your life for you. So if we could notice anything that feels like a frayed nerve or a frayed wire or both, let's let him replace that. Let's let him replace anything you're completely fed up with, be that work, be that finances, be that a relationship, be that family stuff. Let's let him replace old connections with new ones and allowing things to be fresh right now. Let's allow good things to happen in incredibly positive ways. And if we could let Archangel Michael create, his word is fusion, create a wonderful fusion of the highest good coming forward for you. And if we could notice with that word of fusion, of coming together, if we could notice any things that have been, any connections that are complete or are ready to change, perhaps with a sibling, a relative, a father, or work relationship with money, with work, with income. If we could let Archangel Michael unweld some old things, old beliefs, old ways of being, and letting any hard edges be smoothed out. And if we could notice that activity creating more room, and if we could notice Archangel Michael being excited about there being more room. So if we could just breathe in to notice these new spaces that are open, to feel the warmth of Archangel Michael's heart, his care for you, and having a front row seat to this angel being in action for you right now. So we'll just breathe into that. And we'll notice the goodness that is present in this moment. And if we could say out loud, thank you, Archangel Michael, for inviting me into your heart. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for the goodness that is here for me right now. Thank you, Michael, for taking positive action in my life right now. I allow the frayed connections to be replaced. I allow any decay in my relationship with myself to be made new right now. I choose to feel good right now. I allow all my connections to be fresh right now. I allow all my relationships to be fresh right now. Including my relationship with money, my relationship with myself, my relationship with everyone around me, and my relationship with health. Good. So we'll just take in a breath. And we'll notice all the goodness that is here right now, all the peace that is here right now. And from Archangel Michael's perspective, we could notice you looking through the window of his heart out into the world and perhaps seeing, not perhaps, seeing his view of things. Let's notice all the love in the world. And by viewing all the love in the world, let's very simply tap into all the love in the world. Wonderful. If we could notice from Archangel Michael's perspective, all the prayers for you, all the prayers for peace, all the prayers for love and harmony. If we could just notice, be they visible, felt, heard, or known, just notice trillions and trillions of prayers. And if we could notice something the angels mention from time to time, the fact that positive prayers continue. So the prayers of loved ones, including grandparents who are passed, and feeling the perpetual prayers that are here for you, for your goodness. If we could just take in a breath and take in all this goodness, all these prayers. And with having Archangel Michael's view of things, let's indeed just notice what it's like to have a fresh perspective on things. And letting perhaps every moment of this perception, this perspective, be like a word or two of guidance to you from Michael. If we could just breathe in and just notice all that love. Notice how included you are in the universe, as are all beings. Noticing the abundance as opposed to the lack. And noticing that you are included. Wonderful. If we could let some old ideas drop away, and we could let them drop away instantly, And if we could let any notion or thought or advocacy, be it from yourself or from other people, to toughen up, let's just let that sucker drop away. And if we could notice perhaps in completely different wording and completely different mindset, let's notice what it's like to allow an even greater sense of, a greater experience of receptivity and a lovely, fresh experience of focus. And if we can notice in the decades we've spent on the planet, we know exactly what doesn't work. We know what we're fed up with. Let's very simply allow something new to happen. And if we could just breathe in, we'll say a few things out loud. I allow myself to have fresh experiences. I allow myself to have a fresh experience with receptivity. I welcome a fresh experience with abundance in all ways. I allow myself to feel good every single day. I welcome peace of mind right now. I embrace the generosity of life. I forgive everyone for everything 10% right now. I forgive myself for everything 20% right now. I ask for forgiveness for everything 30% right now. I choose to get off of my own back and support myself instead. Wonderful. We'll just breathe in. So let's let Archangel Michael move you from his heart to you sitting, perhaps a bigger version of you sitting on his shoulder. You as your adult self, perhaps just a different size than Archangel Michael. If we could just take in a breath and notice his affection for you. And if we could notice like a mentor, let's notice what he points out to you. Good. And if you could notice Archangel Michael jogging forward on whatever surface, he's showing me he's jogging in space. But if you could notice whatever terrain, if there is a terrain, that jogging in, perhaps the most important thing is the movement, that things are not still. If we could just notice that as he moves forward, jogging, and just noticing what happens with the jostling, what falls away, what becomes more steady, and what you see, hear, feel, or know as he moves forward with you. And if we could say out loud, thank you, Archangel Michael, for sharing this moment with me. I release all attachment. I release holding on to what's no longer serving me. I am available. I am available for my highest good. I do accept positive change in my life. I'm so grateful to be alive. And I welcome more good. Wonderful. If we can notice Michael, like a changing a scene in a movie, let's notice you being your full size and Michael being his full size and him embracing you. And he'd like to, like grabbing the core of your being, if we could let him tap into any grief that you have. And notice Michael holding on to that grief. So if they're like a bone, a spine, a wire, let's let him just hold on to that grief. If we could notice much of that grief dispersing and a lot of it going into him. And if we could say out loud, I acknowledge the grief in my life. I've learned a lot from grief. I choose to release as much grief as possible. I'm capable of experiencing joy. I allow myself to experience more joy right now. I'm complete with putting myself down. I encourage myself instead. And if we could say out loud to yourself, perhaps with a hand on your head or on your heart, if we could say out loud to yourself, you're doing a great job. Keep going. It'll get better. Wonderful. So if we could just breathe into all that. Good. Could do. Yeah. If we could just take a moment in whatever space you're in with Archangel Michael, and if we could look back with him on the space that he just jogged with you, if we could notice that he was safe and there was no thought of safety in that travel. And if we could say out loud, I travel with perfect ease and grace. I travel and traverse with excellence. I travel and traverse with ease. I travel and traverse all landscapes with perfect ease and grace. And for clarity, including mental landscapes, physical landscapes, emotional landscapes, energetic landscapes. If we could just take in a breath. If we could notice this, if we could notice Archangel Michael placing you next to the earth, so you're perhaps quite large and just next to the earth. And like when a parent leaves the room and tells you to take care of your sibling, if we could just take in a breath, Michael's going, I'm going to step out, you take care of the earth. If we could just take in a breath And notice what that's instantly like for you to take care of the earth. You're not going to drop the earth. You're not going to break the earth. Let's notice what it's like to take care of the earth. And let's speak to the earth like it was a younger sibling. If we could say out loud, I'm so proud of you. I know you're growing and learning. We all are. Let's embrace wisdom together. Let's choose not to fight. And let's create heaven on earth. I embrace having a carefree life. I embrace all beings thriving. I allow myself to thrive right now. Wonderful. Whatever this means to you, if we could notice the concept of hell vanishing completely, like done, doesn't exist anymore. If we could breathe in, let's let the idea of bliss, of a heaven state, let's let that take even more tangible form on the planet right now, releasing any rules around having to go somewhere else or having to die. If we could let really good things happen right now on this planet, in your life, including miracles, including generosity, including new ideas, including perfect receptivity, including an advocacy to receive the highest possible good. Just noticing all these good things being here right now. Wonderful. If we could breathe in and notice your big brother, Archangel Michael, coming back and him praising you for taking such good care of the earth. And we'll notice that everything, the care that you put forward toward the earth, everything that you put forward is true for you. So let's just breathe in. And if you could notice Archangel Michael kneeling down and hugging you and hugging the earth at the same time. If we could notice Archangel Michael saying to you and the earth, I love you. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. We are all growing together. Let me help you even more. How can I help you? And if we could take Archangel Michael seriously on that last question, how can he help you? If we could just breathe in and with an open heart and open mind, if we could very simply focus, provide him with what? More peace of mind, more grace, a peaceful planet, safety everywhere, health for all, abundance in all ways, including money, including ideas, a release of tension, an embrace of relaxation, healthy relationships, great communication, openness, respect, compassion, energy, protection, safety, being uplifted. Wonderful. So if we could just breathe into all that and notice Michael hearing you, every word, every syllable, hearing your heartfelt intention, him seeing past any resistance. And if we could just take in a breath and we'll notice anything else that you want to communicate to Michael, if we move that resistance away so it doesn't exist, and just notice what else. Welcoming miracles into your life, allowing your greatest and deepest dreams to manifest, positive change on a personal level, national level, global level, universal level, multiversal level. And a wonderful deepening of your intuition, lovely connection with our loved ones who are passed away. Being an ambassador of peace, loving life, and experiencing a new depth of love. Wonderful. If we could breathe in. And in the same way that Michael released a whole lot of grief, let's notice Michael tapping into any sadness or all the sadness that you do feel or have felt. And if we could notice Archangel Michael acknowledging that sadness and letting it release. And that release of something, a really lovely gift is wrapped in plastic. If we could take off the plastic so the gift is in your hands. If we could just breathe in and let all that movement happen with grace and ease. And if we could say out loud, thank you, Michael, for this gift. Thank you, Michael, for all the miracles in my life. Thank you for being my companion and my friend. Thank you. Wonderful. To all the prayers and affirmations that we have spoken, all of them, if we could say out loud, and right now, every affirmation we've ever said, all prayers that we've said, these perpetual prayers, if we could say out loud to all those positive things, if we could say out loud, yes. And for everything that we've released, including everything we've released right now, if we could say out loud as they exit, thank you. And to Archangel Michael, if we could just breathe in and we'll say out loud to him, thank you. And with great generosity, great peace, and great love, we lovingly thank the presence of Mother, Father, God, and all the archangels and ascended masters. We're so grateful for this moment of clarity and peace. We're so grateful for all the love that exists on the planet right now as we choose to know and see that change is afoot, that everything is changing for the good, that prayers are answered. We're witnessing that nationally right now, that good things are here. And we are part of this change, that we are different than we are yesterday, and tomorrow will be different than today. And we celebrate this positive progression happening right now. And with wonderful ease, with great peace and wonderful love, we simply ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time. And so it is.